Good evening, YouTube. Here I go again with the sequel to my last video. And before I get started, I just like to say I was going to delete that last video. I wasn't going to post it at first because after looking at it, I didn't really like the way I suddenly cut off. You know, there was a lot going on at the moment, and it was a couple of topics I brought up I didn't make the point to, and all of a sudden I was like, hold up, and I had to go, you know. So I said, you know what, I'm going to just post it, and I want to just do a sequel to it to make my points that I didn't make in that video. So one of the things I brought up was the guy that said it was hard getting an Uber ride, and he was like, I seen a car and then it disappeared. Well, anyway, let me get to that point. But that point came right after the part. Remember when I was talking about the girl in the last video when I said I should have given her a 4, but I gave her a 5 anyway? So back to that part. As soon as I got to her destination, I ended the trip. I got a ping as soon as I ended her trip. Didn't even rate her yet. Because once you end a trip, you're back online, I take it. You can get a ping. Or the riders can see you. So, it was only 2 minutes away, too. So that made it a plus. When you get a ping, as soon as you arrive the trip, as soon as you end the trip, that's when you know it's busy. That's what I like. Quick as possible. Get the ping. So, the guy, he calls me. He says, hey, hello, is this such and such? I say, yes, this is me. You know, I'm not going to say my name, but he said my name. But I said, yeah, that's me. He said, oh, okay. He was telling me I'm on such and such block. And I was like, yes, I'm only a minute away. I said, I'm coming up your street now. What I'm going to do is put my hazards on, my flashers. This way you can see me when I get close. He said, oh, I believe I see you. And when I got to him, I seen him on the phone. And, you know, of course, I'm always relieved when a rider sees me. You know, when I know I got the right person, I'm always relieved. So he gets in the car, and he's like, you know, it's hard to get an Uber ride tonight. He said, I seen a car, and all of a sudden it disappears, and all of a sudden you popped up. I said, yeah, I just dropped off right down the street. So as soon as I hit the end trip key, that's when you pinged me. I said, you did it right on time. And, you know, my point is, there are certain areas, maybe not where you're at, but there's places I go, some of those people still have trouble getting a ride. And I'm saying that to say, when you rate somebody, just make sure you're being fair. Don't rate them just based on they don't have water or candy. You know, try to focus on their driving. Did you feel comfortable when they ride? Was it clean? You know, if you're going to rate them because of water or candy or whatever, the lowest, in my opinion, should be a 4. And again, everyone, this is only my opinions. I'm not saying I'm right. These are my opinions. If you're going to rate, it shouldn't be lower than a 4. If you didn't feel threatened by this person, they showed respect, you shouldn't give them anything lower than a 4. But by all means, give them a 5 if you can. Give them a 5. Because I stressed in the last video how too many 3s can get a driver fired, but too many 4s can get a driver fired. Too many 4s. I mean, it's to the point where they could have just had the rating system a 1 and a 5. Because anything under a 5 can get you fired. If a driver only gets all 4s, from what I understand, from what I hear now, that can get you fired. That can get us fired. So I'm making these videos because I want if you get to see these videos, I want you to understand that it's important to give the driver a 5. Nothing lower than a 4. Now, if they deserve it, that's a different story. By all means, give it to them. If they were speeding, going 100 miles an hour, I understand if you give them a 1 because, they put your life at risk. I understand you giving them a 1 because they don't need to be driving. So, use common sense. That's one thing that everybody can't be taught is common sense. If you have them, use them. The driver's polite. Everything meets the criteria. He just don't have candy and all that stuff. If you want to give them a lower rating of 5 or 4, should be the lowest, man. For real. Now, getting back to the girl. Now, I mentioned in the last video that she shouldn't be riding with Uber anymore. But once again, I didn't really get to why. I didn't explain why. And I don't want you guys to think that I'm just selfish, that just because I'm not riding anymore, that I don't want her to ride. Well, the reason why I think that the riders, and which I heard some of them do lose their privilege, but in this case, evidently she didn't. She had a 4.2, she was still riding. But if the rider lose access to the app like the drivers, maybe they'll think about it before they give the driver a low rating. They'll think about it. So that's the reason why I think that they should lose their rider privilege. They will be more likely to think about it. But I did hear that some riders did lose access. I did hear that. So, but those are the 2 important points I wanted to make. But anyhow, I do wish Uber would take that out, that rating system. I'm pretty sure all of us drivers do, but I don't think they are. So until then, we got to do what we got to do. Us drivers, we got to do what we got to do to keep that 5-star. I do plan on bringing water. I don't know about the gum part because I don't want the gum getting stuck on my carpet. So, but the water thing, I can deal with that. I can dig that. And I do bring water sometime, but I don't really have many riders asking for that. Me personally, I don't get that a lot. Most of the time, bands that I pick up, mostly the people that's going to the clubs, a lot of them just thinking about getting to the club. Now, I mentioned one time in the last video that a driver might have given me a 1, thinking that a 1 was the best. Because I say that because I have taken surveys where a 1 was the best, where the rating was from 1 to maybe 5 or 6. A 1 was the best. But common sense, I know most of the time when it comes to star ratings, a 5-star is always the highest. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, 5 stars the highest. But that's just common sense to me. But everybody don't have common sense. But that could kill me. That could kill us in this business. That could cause us to lose our job. You know what I'm saying? So I think what Uber should do too, and again, this is only my opinion, I think that when a driver chooses to rate a 1, they should have to explain why you giving the driver a 1. Because a 1 you get us fired. Anytime a job is at stake, it should be questioned. Just like on eBay, when you want to get somebody bad feedback, you have to explain why. I know it was like that the last time I was about to give somebody bad feedback, but I changed my mind because I figured, you know what, it's no big deal. I didn't give them bad feedback, but I had to explain why before I did it. And that might have caused me to change my mind too. But then I thought about it, I said, you know what? I'm not going to get his first bad feedback. What happened was I asked him a question, he never answered, so I was going to give him bad feedback for that. But I changed my mind. And guess what? They ended up answering a couple of hours later. But I did wait a day before I was going to give them that feedback. I didn't give them that right away because I know sometimes people are gone and they don't be on the computer all day. But guys, I'm stressed. I'm stressing. Rate the driver 5. Well, all it's possible. We must have a 5. But anyhow, I'm done with this video. I'm done with this sequel. My next video is going to be on another subject. But I hope you guys have a good one. And wish me luck.